Organizers say the next US presidential debate will be more orderly. They are looking to impose new rules after a chaotic first debate in Cleveland between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And there are suggestions that moderators could have the power to temporarily switch off a candidate's microphone. Fox News anchor Chris Wallace was the moderator of the first debate, and he's admitted it went off the rails, with both men hurling insults at each other. Mr. Trump also repeatedly interrupted Mr. Biden. The personal attacks have continued after the showdown.
Last night I did what the corrupt media has refused to do. I held Joe Biden accountable for his 47 years of lies, 47 years of betrayal, and 47 years of failure. I held Joe accountable for shipping your jobs and dreams abroad.
Folks, there couldn't be a more stark difference from what I saw last night in that debate stage. Self-entitled, self-serving president who thinks everything is about him.
Joining us for more, Simon Marks from Washington. Simon, so there's talk of this possible mute button. What other new rules are being weighed?
Well, we don't know in detail yet, Glenda, because it's going to fall to the Commission on Presidential Debates, which is the bipartisan, non-governmental organisation that arranges these presidential debates. And by the way, only these presidential debates. They don't have anything to do with the debates that took place much earlier in the cycle when Joe Biden, for example, was debating his Democratic Party opponents at the time. They say they're going to promulgate the new rules soon. There are reports here that they include the prospect of cutting a candidate's mic off if he breaks the rules. It's unclear whether that would be literally the moderator of the debate pressing a button, or whether there'd be people behind the scenes making that decision. But, and it is a huge caveat, when the Commission on Presidential Debates says additional structure needs to be imposed on these debates, actually there's no imposing anything on them, because the rules of the road have to be agreed by the two campaigns. The Biden campaign will have to sign off on them, and the Trump campaign will have to sign off on them. And all the indications were from the Trump team yesterday that they have no interest in changing the rules of the game at all. They said this was moving the goalposts after the match had started. And so I think there is a very real question here now as to whether we will see another debate. Will there really be 3 debates that we're able to bring you on CNA during this cycle? Or is that the only encounter, excruciating as it was, in the words of the New York Times today, of this particular election cycle?
Simon, this debate was down on ratings compared to the one 4 years ago with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Is there much public appetite for another debate in either case?
Well, I think there probably is, Steve. I mean, you still had 73 million people tuning into this debate, which is a substantial number of people. I mean, that's almost a quarter of the population here in the United States. And clearly far more people will be watching it on catch-up online after the event is live broadcast. Donald Trump realized back in 2016 that the American public was ready for their electoral politics to be turned into a reality TV show. In many ways, that was the genius of Donald Trump's candidacy. He realized it before anybody else. And as you saw on Wednesday morning Singapore time in the debate that we broadcast, he's a showman. He's a pugilist. He wants to get into the ring and he wants to, as we saw, throw his weight around. And the public watches that. So I think that it is likely that there is public appetite for more, but there is also public appetite for something substantive, detailed in terms of policy, forward-looking, and we absolutely didn't get that in the first debate.
We'll have to see how these new rules pan out. Thanks very much. Simon Marks speaking to us from Washington, D.C.